Hey, my lovers, what's up? What's happening? What's going on? It is your girl Teeze, and I'm super excited. Today, I'm going to be doing question and answers, questions that are long overdue that a lot of you guys have been asking throughout my travels. Now I'm in 72 countries on a Jamaican passport. So yes, there's a lot of questions. How do you do it? And for those of you that kept saying, why you keep stressing about the fact that you do it on a Jamaican passport? Because you don't have a Jamaican passport. So you have an American passport or a first world country passport. So the issues and the difficulties that we as Jamaican face or some other countries, you guys are clueless to it. So yes, sometimes when I let my friends in on some of the issues, they're like, what? Yeah, we can't just get up and buy a ticket and go to another country. We don't have that privilege. We have to, most of the time, apply for a visa that we have to pay for that we don't even have to get. So it is a lot, yes. And we have to show proof of money, bank statement, all that stuff. Sometimes houses, sometimes asset, a car. Most of you don't have to do any of that. You know, you just get up and go and run up your credit card bills and like how many noodles, you know what I mean? That it is what it is. Some of us don't have that luxury. We have to show and save and do all that stuff. We don't have credit cards to just put stuff on. That when we said, yes, we do it on a Jamaican passport, it is a big deal. So shout out to all my Jamaican Massive and all the other third world countries that wants to travel, have issues, but we still make it happen. So shout out to y'all, okay? And as a matter of fact, drop your flag in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know where you're from. How many times have you tried for the US visa, the Canadian visa? Where's been the most difficult place that you've been trying to go that you still haven't reached? As a matter of fact, my story is I tried for the US visa 8 times. I didn't get it until the 9th try. That was when I was young and wanted to like travel to the US. In all honesty, I didn't care after. America was my 57th country. Canada was my 56th, and I still haven't been to England. So when I was on 55 countries and be like, I'm on 55 countries and I still haven't been to US, Canada, or England, the question always comes, so where have you been? Because those are the three major or three most popular countries, especially for people in that diaspora that wants to travel. The first place they think of US, then probably Canada next, then England. After being denied for so long when I was younger, like I started trying for the US visa. I think the first time I was like 8 or so. It was for a Disney World trip. They turned down everyone. Then again at 13, you want me to do a story time on the whole visa thing? Going embassies and how I finally got my visa? Drop into the comment section. But if you really scroll through my YouTube, Teeze TV, you'll see all of that. But if you want me to do an updated version, I'm willing. So let's get right into it with the question. These questions came from all over my social media platform, from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TT. So there's just questions that I was like, okay, this is a good one. So there's a few. These are the top 10, and I will do a continuation. If you have questions that weren't answered in this segment, do not be afraid to drop it in the comment section, and I will do another segment on that. All right. Number 1. What are the 3 top destinations you visited that you recommend for first-time solo travelers, and why? All right, so most of you know I travel by myself, and I love it. 72 countries, top 3 destination you visited that you recommend for first-time solo travelers, and why? Okay. Whew. All right, that is hard because there's a lot of countries and they all have their own gem. All right, so top 3, I would say Thailand. Don't judge me. I love Thailand, Singapore. Oh gosh. And why is Japan coming to mind? I can't. This is a hard question, and it's hard to pick 3. You know, when you do 72 countries, it's hard to just pick 3 countries. But it's so ironic that those 3 countries are in Asia. I just came back from Japan. Actually, my first time in Japan. I lived in Thailand for 4 years. Thailand is one of those places that you must visit before you die. Put it on your bucket list. It is so safe. It is so affordable, so respectful, and they're so happy. It's called the land of smiles for a reason because they are so polite. They're so helpful, very, very affordable. The first 6 months I lived in Thailand, I didn't cook at home. I eat out. Like I literally eat out. Shrimp was for $4. Chicken was for $2. Like, you know, I'm talking about 10 years ago, but it hasn't spiked that much. I could get a massage for $10, proper 1-hour massage, Aldog massage, like proper. Singapore, amazing country. She is so clean. Oh, clean, baby. So respectful. And even though these people, I'm recommending 3 Asian countries, I don't know off the bat, they don't speak English. It's not their first language, but 90% of the people will stop what they're doing and try to help you. That's how helpful they are in Singapore. Easy to commute because it's not such a big country, and your safety, hands down. Japan is another one. Just came back from Japan and I literally fell in love. The food was amazing. The food is good in Thailand too. Singapore, I love it, but I don't know. The food didn't stand out to me. But Thailand, Thai food, amazing. Japan food, Woo! It's amazing. Now I see why everybody over there are centurions, because they do live long. Their health is priority. It shows in everything. The air is fresh. The streets are clean. They eat healthy. They eat in small portion. Amazing. So off the bat, those are countries that comes to mind. Probably are going to ask me a top 10 or something, because it's hard out of 72. All right. Number 2. How do you afford to travel so many countries? What are your top budgeting tips for frequent travelers? That is a good one. It's easy to travel as much as I do because I'm a traveler, not a vacationer. Perfect example. If you're a vacationer, you want to be comfortable. You know, you're going to choose somewhere luxurious because this is a once in a lifetime thing, like once a year. So you want to stay at the Marriott, or you want a nice Tempur-Pedic bed. You want to take expensive excursion. You know, there's no budget because you saved for an entire year or 5 years or 10 years for this vacation. However, when you are a traveler, you're budgeting. You want to do this again in the next 2-3 months. So you might not care to take an expensive hotel. You might even stay at a hostel. If you want me to elaborate on that, tell me in the comment. You can do couch surfing. There's a lot more socializing when you travel that way. I remember the first time I did a backpacking trip to Europe when I did 15 countries, I did hostels, and that was one of the most amazing trips. I've met so many people along that journey. Once you understand the difference between a traveler and a vacationer, it will make more sense to you. A traveler, we want to experience the culture. We might spend more on the excursion and less on the accommodation. Your safety is important. I'm not trying to send you to some crazy place in the back of nowhere. Wherever you can stay at home, you're not going to do it abroad. You can stay there where you live in your own country, then don't go in a foreign country to do it. If it looks dodgy, if it looks sketchy, then yes, don't do it. Don't stay there. One of the main things for me, I know how to book my trips. I don't pay much. I know now the loophole, since living back and forth in America, how to get tickets for nothing, for free or next to nothing. My trip to Japan a week ago was literally $55, a round trip from New York to Japan, a 15-hour flight. Yeah, $55. So when you are a traveler, you know how to find these deals. So if you need to know the loop, don't forget, you can book a one-on-one call with me. I will do that for you, tell you how it is you can travel like that. All right. And that is the difference between a vacation and a traveler. Hence the reason why travelers, we can do it so frequently, because we're not trying to go all out and spend all our money on one trip because we want to do it the next 2 months. We want to do it in the next 3 months. So the time, or trips are longer than the regular person because they're on time off. You know, that's the time they got from their job. While us travelers, we can travel for a month or 2 months, you know. So again, that is the difference. I hope that answered the question. Number 3, what are the biggest mistakes travelers make when planning international trips, and how can they avoid them? They pack too much. They didn't do their homework. They tell everybody that they're new in town. Don't do that. You know, don't, oh, I just arrived. Oh, I'm traveling by myself. Don't lose lips, sink ships. Don't be telling people your business. Again, whatever you would not do in your country, then don't do it overseas or abroad. Don't do. Again, when I say pack too much, learn to consolidate everything. I do have some travel hacks, how to consolidate your packing, how to make everything into a carry-on than a check-in. A check-in bag, I literally dislike traveling with a check-in bag because you have to stand and wait. Whenever I land, I want to go. I got things to do. I'm not on vacation. I want to go do my excursion. I am off the plane, gone about my business. The other day, for the first time in a very, very long time, I did a check-in bag because I was doing Japan and South Korea in winter. South Korea, it was below 16. At Narita Island, it's hard to pack light. I need layers. I also want to vlog, so I have to bring, you know, a few change of clothes. For a very long time, I end up doing a check bag. And of course, it became a nightmare. To go to Japan, it was fine. I didn't have no issues. Thank goodness they did not lose my bag. Going to South Korea, no issue. They did not lose my bag. Coming back to the US, I had a connecting flight, which my flight in Japan to that connecting state was delayed. Hence, it created a delay on the other side when I land. By the time I get to my connecting flight, even though I am priority, again, that's another perk in case you want to get it, always priority bags, always priority. They had some issues with the belt. The conveyor belt wasn't working. All the bags were stuck in the back. I couldn't take my bag. Delay. I literally had to leave my bag in that state because I was like, I'm not letting this flight miss me. So I actually left my bag in that state, grabbed my connecting flight literally 1 minute before they closed the gate. You know, they sent the bag. So again, if you want me to elaborate on that, just comment it in the comment section. I can, you know, avoid that. Really, really good question. That was the biggest mistake travelers make. Yeah. And if you want me to elaborate a little bit more, just say elaborate and I'll make another video for that. Okay. All right. Number 4, what's the one country that surprised you the most and why did it stand out compared to the others? Ooh, what country surprised me the most? I think that would be Cambodia. I went to Cambodia. It was like, one of those vacations, and I came back and my friend was like, did you go to the Killing field? I'm like, nah, field. No, I didn't know about that. And she's like, but before, when I went, it's just how big the trees are. Like, these are gigantic, ginormous tree roots. It was different. Like, wow. It was like, whoa. That for me was, and the history behind it. But I did not know about the Killing fields. You can do your own research on that, YouTube it. When I heard about it, I was like, okay. So I went back. That just broke my heart. Like the history and that, the fact that they have like skulls everywhere because of what happened in history. That is their own government that did that to them. It stood out to me. There was no age limit, whether you were pregnant or there's a baby on the boob, or there's no age limit to how they KILLU. The fact that they have that to this day there with all the skulls for history is wow. That was one. Another one, Croatia. Oh my gosh, Croatia was so beautiful. I fell in love right away. That is like Caribbean with snow. I went to the falls while it was winter. I can imagine how summer is there. I have not traveled there during summer, but Croatia was one of those countries that stood out to me when I did Europe. Iceland was beautiful. Like I did 15 countries, like I said. Out of the 15 countries, Croatia stood out. Like they took the cake. Croatia took the cake for that one. So I would say two countries that stood out to me, Cambodia and Croatia. All right. Number 5. How do you handle language barriers when traveling to countries where English isn't widely spoken? Oh my gosh, you guys have some good questions. You see, the thing is, most of these countries, they try. See, like I said in my first answer, number 1, you go to Singapore, you go to Japan, you go to Thailand. English is not their first language, but they try. When I was traveling those countries, 10 years ago, like Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, there wasn't a lot of tourists. Still, there's not a lot of tourists. It's getting better, but in comparison to 15 years ago, 15 years ago, it wasn't like that. You didn't really have Google Translate, and it wasn't so hip. Social media wasn't social media as it is right now. So ask questions, and some people, they don't speak English either, so they'll be like, no, they run. But you ask another person. Closed mouth doesn't get feed. Never be afraid to ask. You can always look out for like police officers or females or security guards standing at a hotel lobby. But you always want to be careful as well who you choose to ask certain questions, because you don't want to create any unnecessary attention to yourself. Okay, this person's asking question. Obviously, they're a tourist. They don't know where they're going, and they're a loner. You got to be careful. You have to be mindful. Whatever you not do in your country, don't go abroad to do it. Even though English is not widely spoken in some countries, don't be afraid to ask questions. Somebody of good stature that you know for sure, which you never know, but you probably know, all right, this person is a safe person to ask a question. That's never stopped me. Like, I'll like, excuse me. Okay, you don't answer. Okay, next, don't take it personal. If you don't speak German and a German person come to your country and asks you a question and you don't speak German, right? You can't help them. But don't take it personal, like, oh, they don't want to help me. Like, no, they just don't understand the language and they just can't help you in the moment. Nothing personal about you. So don't take it personal. And always approach people with a smile. I think that kind of warms them up. Like, I'm always like, hi, excuse me. Can you help me with this, please? Can you just give me 1 second of your time? Like, approach them with a smile. When you approach them with a smile, they say, okay, you come in peace. You know what I mean? So I hope that makes sense. Right. Number 6. What are your go-to tips for finding safe and affordable accommodation as a solo traveler? Ooh, you guys need to be in my community. Those are the gems that I drop all the time. My go-to tips for finding safe and affordable accommodation as a solo traveler is quite easy as a seasoned traveler. You know which site to go on. I'm going to drop this link in the comments. Definitely helps. If you are in Europe, you can go to hostel.com. You can use Airbnb. Asia, I recommend Kolok and Agoda. I think it's cool. I don't remember. Add that. It's okay. And I'll drop it in the thing. And you can use them to get discount. Even booking.com. I'll also drop my booking.com referral and I will drop my Airbnb referral. Once you use my referrals, you get discounts. Hence the reason I'm going to drop my referrals. And again, these are things that I do in my community. So make sure you are in my community. Okay. I will be dropping those links that are very helpful. It depends on where you're traveling. There is certain apps that helps you to navigate to get cheaper accommodation, cheaper excursions. It all depends. As an avid seasoned traveler, I know exactly where to look, when to look. If you're booking and you're traveling by yourself, you can put 1 and see how much it is. And you can also then put 2 and see how much it is. If it says the same price as traveling with 2 people, always put 2. Why? Because certain countries, you have to be careful. When you put 2, it look as if there's two people in the room, just for safety, so it doesn't look like you're traveling by yourself. You know what I mean? That's all. Links below, you'll find different prices for accommodation. Depends on where in the world you are, because everywhere has different price offers and price value in those countries. Number 7, what's the most memorable food experience you've had abroad, and which country had the best cuisine overall? Ooh, listen, I'm a foodie. I love eat. Hey, I want to go in a circle. I'm going to place now. All right, so the best food experience, I love Thailand. I love Thai food. Love, 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 love. It reminds me of home when everything was organic. You know, in Jamaica, where the farmers were farmers, their crop wasn't tampered with. Thailand is like that. Everything is organic in Thailand. There's no, you know how you go to the supermarket and you have organic and pesticide, really, because if it's not organic, then it's pesticide. And even if the organic is still pesticide, you know, and tampered with. But you don't go to Thailand and see organic, or everything is organic. The seafood are wild caught, how it should be. That speaks volume. So Thailand is great for food. Japan is great for food too. Costa Rica had some good food. Oh yeah. Woo, baby. I'm getting goosebumps. Costa Rica had some good food. France. Ooh, the food is good in France. And the food is good in France. Oh, you know where surprised me had good food? Laos. Now, most of you never even heard about Laos. Laos is between Vietnam and Thailand. And next to Cambodia too. Laos is an Asian country, right? But it was ruled under, I think, Sweden or someplace in Europe, or Norway. Yeah, I think it's Norway. So they have a fusion of Norwegian and Asian food. Oh gosh. I was in Laos and I couldn't stop eating. That surprised me because I was expecting rice and, you know, the typical Asian food, noodles. No, baby. No, Laos, the food in Laos was so good. Like, all I can remember is just eating in Laos. It's Laos. You can research Laos. Like, yeah, the food was good. So the food surprised me in Laos. Okay. All right. Number 8. What's one culture etiquette tip travelers often overlook but should know when visiting different countries? Very important. Always research the do's and don'ts in that country, especially when it's a different country than what you're used to. Say, for example, you're leaving from the US and you're traveling to Thailand. Know the do's and don'ts in Thailand. See how I sit with my legs crossed right now? Like, I wouldn't sit like this in Thailand because pointing your feet on a Thai person is an insult. Putting your foot on a Thai person is an insult. Getting the Buddha tattoo on your feet is an insult. You know, there's a certain things that is a part of someone's culture that you have to understand. Remember, I think it's Saudi Arabia, you cannot wear camouflage. Like, there's so many countries that you have to be very mindful. Dubai, if you're part of the LGBT community, don't showcase any affection. Even if you are in the straight community, don't go over there making out and grabbing your wife's butt over the top PDA. You can be arrested for that. Even if you're straight, keep it to yourself. They do not like over the top PDA. Perfect example. I remember I was in Thailand, living there, and this American was there in the bar, and I don't remember what happened. They weren't giving him any attention. This guy, he like took the money, lighted. First of all, at the time, the king was still alive, and the king is loved by all Thai people. The king is on all the money in Thailand, all the currency, from 1 cent to the biggest 1,000 baht. He's on all the currencies. This guy literally took the money and lighted, just being arrogant, like, this means nothing to me. And they kicked his butt, like, they beat the crap out of him. Then they called the police and the police took him to jail because that is disrespectful. You do not, even if the money is blowing away in town, you know how we're running, you know, like if our money drop and it's blowing in the wind and we just run to stamp it, you know, to use our foot to stop it, you better run that money down, like you said, we'll go all the way to Antarctica. Do not put your feet on their money because, again, it's disrespectful and the king is on it. So please research different do's and don'ts in that country before you go there thinking, oh, well, if I was in America and do this, it wouldn't be a problem. Guess what? You're not in America. Perfect example, look at the basketballer that went to Russia and was arrested because she had her weed vape. You know what I mean? So again, there are certain things that you can get away with in one country that you will not get away with in another country. So ignorance is not bliss. What you don't know can hurt you. So do your research before you go to each country. Don't go to Jamaica and say, oh, but everybody down here have the Bob Marley salad, so I can do it too. Before it was legalized in Jamaica, people used to do that. I used to get in trouble. Don't assume anything. Research, especially now where Google is at our fingertips. What you don't know can hurt you. Don't go to someone's country and then your vacation turned into a whole nightmare because you did something that you shouldn't have done. Number 9, how do you pack for long trips across multiple climates without overpacking? Woo! All right, so I think I did answer that in the other one. I'm going to give you guys the hookup to this too, okay? These are my top secrets, and I'm showing you here. how I consolidate as much as possible for this trip to Japan and South Korea when the weather is minus 16, okay, for 2 weeks. Again, I couldn't help but to check in a bag. Those are things that you can do. If you're going to a tropical country, if you haven't seen this video, then you can check that out too. I show you how you can really and truly cheat your way packing without overpacking. Try to always do travel size. Everything you buy should be in travel size. That definitely helps. If you're going for a week, you don't need a gigantic shower gel. Or what you can do is just buy a shower gel in that country. If you are one of those people that needs a massive shower gel because you're going to bathe, like, try to do travel size stuff. Everything should be travel size. I'm also going to give you the hookup for bags like these that you just use what you need because you're going away for a week. Your perfume should be travel size. When I buy perfume, I have a certain perfume that I love that it has to be 50 mil, not even 75, 50 mil, just to be on the safe side. 50 mil so they don't confiscate it at the airport. Everything should be in travel size, okay? Once you have them in travel size, then you're not overpacking. You're not bringing a whole big bacla lotion. You're not bring a big bacla shampoo because all of those stuff is unnecessary. So those are ways that you can always consolidate and bring travel size so you're not overpacking. Last but not least, number 10. What's the scariest or most challenging experience you faced while traveling and how did you handle it? What's the most scariest or most challenging experience? Well, knock on, I mean, this is not wood, but I haven't really had any crazy experience that is off the bat that scared me, like that makes me don't want to travel again. I don't know. I think probably the only country I felt uncomfortable that I can recall in two countries, Vietnam. Because at the time when I went to Vietnam, again, it's not like now everybody's going to Vietnam. It's more tourists and more black people. So they're used to it. Vietnam, they stare. And I'm used to people staring at me because I don't know. I just look different and I always attract people staring at me. So I'm used to it. Trust me, I'm used to it. And Asians, they stare. Okay. Especially they stare. However, Vietnamese, they are in your face. They come up in your face. Like you'll be here and they're here. They will kick their bike stand down, walk over, you're here, and wow. And I'm like, you can stare at me over there, right? Like I was supposed to spend 10 days in Vietnam and I actually wrap it up in 4 days. I was like, yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. Gotta go. Because you're in my personal space. At this point, you're in my personal space. Why are you in my personal space? I don't want you in my personal space. Like stare at me over there. Like when I went to Cambodia, they come up and they're like, they hold your hand and they're like, wow. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't come off. Yeah, it doesn't wipe off. And it's not like, oh my God, I don't want to travel. It's just, Vietnam was just like, you're too much in my personal space. And I didn't want to deal with that for 10 days. So I wrap it up after 4 days. Cambodia, I didn't have a problem with them trying to rub the black off my skin. Like it is what it is. It's not coming off. Czech Republic in Europe. It just had that eerie, gray, nobody on the street, like ghost town, wrong turn. I don't know. It just kind of felt creepy. I don't know. Czech Republic was just creepy. I was like, all right, that's it. Wrap it up. I'm out. Deuces. That's really it. I haven't had any experience where, again, I'm very vigilant about my surroundings when I travel. If I don't do it at home, I'm not doing it abroad. And I travel alone. So below, I'm going to drop my Amazon storefront. Make sure to check out my travel recommendation kit, things that you need when you travel for safety and all of that good stuff. Yeah, everything's going to be on my Amazon storefront that you need when you're traveling, whether it's your camera to leave in your room, whether it's the lock to lock the door. Yeah, to make sure it's lock so nobody can come inside lock. I have all of that on my storefront, so you can see if there's anything that you need. My money belt that I wear on my body. A lot of things that people take for granted when they travel that I don't, because as an experienced traveler, I know how to play it safe, keep safe. I literally had 5,000 euros on me in Europe. Because at that time, I never used to use credit cards and I had cash. And that's what I'm used to from, being in the Caribbean. And I came back home with every cent. Like I went with 5,000, came back home with 3,500. And that literally covered every single thing. And trust me, I was doing a lot. I did the 11 rivers in Croatia. I did Blue Lagoon in Iceland. I did the slide thing in Switzerland. I did a walking tour in Hungary, Budapest, bear hunt in Austria. And one of the tips I'm going to leave you guys with is, when you're travel in winter. It's a different experience and things are way cheaper as well. So less people travel in winter and they don't have as much tourists, so they drop the prices. If you're doing hostels, that's actually one of the best times too, because there's not a lot of people in the hostels. It's not full as it would in the summertime. All right. So I do hope those tips help you. Again, don't forget to check out my Amazon storefront. Also, some of my card recommendation that gives you free travels. Like just check out the hookup. I hooked you guys up. Okay. So check it out in the comment section, or if you're watching on IG, go to the link in my bio. You will see my link tree. Check out my link tree and you'll see every single thing that you need when you are traveling. If this video helped, let me know which one was your favorite from 1 through 10. Which tip was your favorite? And again, I'll be taking more questions. So don't forget to drop them in the comment section and I will do them another time as well. This is long overdue and it was fun answering these questions. Again, which question you learned the most from? Drop it in the comment. If you stay to the end, then comment number 11, because guess what? This is going to be your bonus for those of you that watched all the way to the end. Now, someone asked, how is it you do transportation? What is the best way of transportation when you are traveling? The best form of transportation when you're traveling, it depends on which country you're in. I was in Europe. I only flew to Switzerland, Spain, and Iceland out of the 15 countries. The others, I took a bus. The others, I took a train. So it's easy to commute. It depends on where you are. If you're traveling through Asia, if you're in Japan, you can take the bullet train. That is super cool. You get to your destination super fast. If you are in Thailand, then you're going to have to go with the bus, because I don't think they really have a lot of train options in Thailand. I don't recall. Probably in Bangkok a few. But it's not like how it is for US or France or Japan. Buses are more like it. I remember when I went to Laos, I think Laos to Vietnam or Cambodia to Vietnam. I remember one of those trips, I did a sleeper bus. It was so cool. Like you literally sleep in the bus. The bus had beds. It depends on where you are. Like if you're in Jamaica, there's no train to catch. I guess there's a 1 or 2 train in Jamaica, but it's not that. You know what I mean? Transportation is always going to be, depending on which country you are in. All right. So let me know which country you want to go, what you want me to share about that country. All right. Again, if you stay to the end, I hope you enjoy that bonus. If you stay to the end, comment bonus in the comment section. So like that, I know you stayed to the end. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are watching from my YouTube, hit the share. Share this to someone that is definitely on their own journey to traveling and understanding and learning about, the travel life. If they haven't traveled before or want to travel by themselves, I'm sure I gave some good tips, right? Don't be stingy and don't be mean. Share this vlog, okay? It's your girl Teeze with Teeze Travel Guide. Don't forget to check out my website, teezetravelguide.com. And most important, my community is there for everyone. Please definitely join me there, where I drop gems, where I drop how you can get deals. And every time I find a deal, I will be sharing it in my community. So you don't want to miss that, all right? So come over my community and join me, and I can say others. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and share and drop a comment below to let me know what you think about this video. Okay. Bye. Until next time.